You have made the decision, you're leaving. Maybe it's after struggling with it for several months. Maybe the straw that broke the camel's back happened this morning. But you've decided you're in the wind, you're leaving. Now you want to make sure you do it the right way and you're in the right place, because that's exactly what this video is about. And I want you to remember this all of your career. People don't remember how you showed up. They remember how you showed out. Now you might not think that's fair, but it's not up for debate. I've watched people leave companies for decades, and people always remember how people left. If you do this wrong, you can ruin years of building a good reputation. Besides the fact you want to do it the right way, it's the right thing to do. Frankly, I've coached numerous professionals that left the wrong way, and it was always one of their biggest regrets because it never left them. So today, I'm going to give you 4 tactics, not motivation, not feelings. I'm going to give you 4 action items, 4 tactics that work every time for your benefit. Now, before we jump in, if you're still on the fence or you're having second thoughts, I'm going to encourage you to watch my video. Before you quit, do this. It is a game changer whether you decide to stay or go, and I've got it linked in the description for you. All right, after these 4 tactics, I've got a bonus round that has only happened with 3 individuals that left my company over the years that actually did this. And based on what they did, I always gave them rave reviews, rave referrals, and volunteered to be a reference for them at any time. So stick around and make sure you hear the bonus round. Tactic number 1, silence. Button it up. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell your best friend. Don't tell the coworker you trust the most. No one until you tell the people in the order that they need to be told, starting with your leader. Whether it's jealousy, envy, competitive nature, trying to get a leg up, politics. When you confide in that coworker, so many times it gets to your boss's desk before you do. This is not about being sneaky. You're not breaking any kind of trust with your coworker. You're handling this resignation professionally, the way it should be handled. You don't owe anybody else that news before you tell your boss and the organization in the proper order. So here's the practical application. Tell your leader first. Tell your team second. Both of these before you tell the group chat or the person that you don't work with. Do it in the proper order. And if you want to celebrate with friends, that's fine, that's great, but do it after it's official at the company. This is discipline, and it's the difference between I heard she was leaving to she told me she was leaving. And from a personal standpoint, this is a huge lesson that I learned in my career when I was leaving a company at one time. I broke somebody's confidence, something that they had told me in confidence. When I was leaving, for whatever reason, ego, whatever, to show I was in on the know, I shared that with a trusted friend of mine, thinking that they would protect that information just like I had. But when I was gone, they shared that information inappropriately, and it ruined a relationship, and it was all my fault. So I'm going to go back to tactic number 1 is silence. Be silent. Tactic number 2, no coasting, no quiet quitting. I want you to show up just like you did on the first day that you took this job. This is critical for your reputation, how you finish. It says everything about your integrity. This is the one nobody really wants to hear because you want to mentally check out. You feel justified in your decision. Lots of times we're already living in our mind at that other job. But this is when your focus goes down, and this is the point. This tactic is when you want to make sure you control your focus. You want it at its highest level, just like day 1. This is why it matters more now than ever. Your name is going to continue to walk into rooms and be in conversations that you're not there. And people are not going to remember the middle. They're going to remember the ending. How did you handle things at the end? Every project you have finished, everything you leave undone, every handoff you skip, every time your mind tells you it doesn't matter anymore, that's the story people are going to tell after you're gone. By not giving it your all the way to your last day, you risk destroying your reputation. You risk everything that you built up while you were at this company. The practical application is this: just finish what you started. Be diligent about doing a good handoff. Your reputation is not what you think about yourself as you leave. It's what people say about you once you're gone. Now let's talk about tactic number 3, a positive attitude. You want to bring positive energy as you execute this resignation. Run from the drama. Once people know you're leaving, 10 times a day people are going to try to get you into the complaining circle, the venting circle. You're going to be tempted to say what you've always thought about whoever. Run from the drama. I don't care how unfairly you feel treated, how big an oversight it was, how justified you feel. Don't get in that circle. Don't get in that negative circle. So here's the practical application. When the drama shows up, and it's going to show up, change the subject. Change the subject. Walk away. Don't create a mess for somebody else to clean up, because that mess is going to stick to you as you leave. You control your attitude, and this is a critical time for you to be at your best as a professional. High energy, positive attitude. Tactic number 4, no justification. We'll say it again. No justifying or rationalizing your decision. Whether it was a missed promotion, not getting your raise, being overlooked, putting in extra effort and not being appreciated. Regardless of what it is, don't vent. Don't try to justify that. And be ready, because your coworkers are going to ask you over and over again, why are you leaving? So here's the practical application. When you hear that, and you're going to hear it, I want you to use that professional version. I'm looking for a new opportunity. I'm exploring something new. I feel called to do something different. And leave it at that. You don't have to justify anything past that, nor do you owe anyone any explanation beyond that. Save those real conversations for later, when you're with your best friend or your spouse or your mentor over coffee and having a real conversation. Because you do want to learn from your experiences, but justifying with coworkers always gets messy, and that mess always sticks on you. If you protect your exit, you'll be protecting your peace, and you'll be protecting your reputation, and you'll be protecting your reference, your future references. Now for the bonus round. Only 3 individuals have done this, but I had 3 individuals that when they left the company, they left me with a detailed handoff sheet. Everything that they had in process, where it was, what their resources were, what their contacts were, how to get in contact with them, and the best way to get in contact with them if I had any questions. Do you see the power of that? I gave them rave reviews and rave references every time I was asked to, because they demonstrated that they cared about their role. They cared about the team they was leaving. They cared about the company. They cared about our customers. People don't forget that. So that's your bonus round. Execute the best handoff possible, over and beyond what anyone would expect. Now, none of these 4 tactics is about hiding anything or deceiving anybody or not being true to yourself. They are about acting with integrity. They are about protecting your reputation. They are about being everything that you want to be, which is a professional. You want to be the best. You want to be outstanding. And this is about being outstanding. Why burn bridges that you help build when you can strengthen them as you leave? Think about that. How you leave is the last data point people have on how you treat people. Make it count. Regardless of how bad you were treated, regardless of what happened, you control this exit. It might be one of the last things you control in this situation, so own it. And always remember our rally cry. Every day, be better.